I got it.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I couldn't even go to bed tonight without having this this talk with you. Look here. If you're black, you know nobody has ever respected us. We have been the low dirt of the earth ever since white people and other people have been talking about us, especially since we've been over here. I'm not going to try to take us someplace else and see how they treated us. But here's what I think. They've never had anything decent to say about us. Now they're saying those things about people who are not as dark as we are, but they're not white. And you know, all of these people put together that's been put down, I believe it's about at least 6 billion of us. And that leaves maybe about 500 million, a half billion people that's super rich, one way or another. How long? They can't do a darn thing without us. And they say we need them because they got all the resources and the money. That is a goddamn lie. We do not need them. They are using us and we are allowing them to. I know we come up in different places and believing in different things. But if you don't believe in anything, numbers, right and wrong, that's power. Ladies and gentlemen, sisters and brothers, how long are we going to allow ourselves to be slaves? How long are we going to allow ourselves to be manipulated by somebody who got some money? We don't need that money. Somebody said, well, you go try to pay, or you go somewhere and try to get a room and see if they're going to ask you for some money. But all I got to say, with 6 billion people, we can change every law that ever existed. 6 billion people, we can say anything we want to say. 6 billion people? Make the law. Why should people make laws for us? Why should people decide that if they want to punish us, they go in our pockets? They don't put a goddamn thing in our pockets, but they want to put their hands in our pockets to punish us. Why? Because to them, money is everything. I ask you, you can't afford to pay these prices and these fees and these fines. Why do you pay them? You say you pay them to keep them going to jail. God dog, you finding some excuse? Can't you pray? Pray and ask God to teach you. I mean, this don't make no sense to you, I know. But I want to tell you this, and I ain't going to talk but maybe another minute. Listen to me, folks. You think Donald Trump is real? That person is real, and he's evil. And all the people love him. It seems like at least 90% of the Republicans love him. It seems that way, 90% at least of them love him. You see anybody knocking him? And even the ones that say he's no good, they still vote with him. So that tells you this country's really screwed. And the Democrats, they pointed out, but they are not willing to take the full step. They're taking half steps. And while these people are playing games, we are living on the streets. We are living with wages that doesn't even cover half of our daily lives. We are living in homes and stuff that's very far from the standards that we had imagined when we were kids. Ladies and gentlemen, our education is wrought. We can't get the education we want because we got to study something that they're programming us with, as opposed to that we need to do the things that we want to do. But we can only do what they've designed for us to do, and that's to keep us in bondage. How is it that well, I know, I started to say, why is it every Sunday the church is filled with people who follow these dictates? I guess I know the answer to that. That's because they don't know God. They're playing games. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I know you hate to hear me say that. I know to hear me say that you don't know God just makes you mad enough to slap me and knock the rest of my teeth out of my mouth. I want to tell you something about that attitude. That attitude is evidence that you don't know God. Then you might say, well, listen to what I'm saying about Trump and all of his people and what I'm saying about him. Maybe that indicates that I don't know God. No, I want to tell you, it is because I know God that I can tell you about Trump. It is because I know God that I can tell you about that evil stuff, and I know evil. So, and it's because I know God that I can tell you about yourselves. I know what you'll do to me. That's why I don't go in your churches and stand up and tell you the truth. I wait for you to come out of the church, because I know in that building you call it God's house. But you let me walk in there and say the things that I say, y'all will jump on there and beat my butt so bad as a crying shame. Have me hate I ever came up in there. Because that's not God's house. That's the devil's house. You're the keepers. Because if you weren't, it doesn't make any sense. Let me tell you, all you good people. I had a dog once. That dog came into my house as a young baby at almost the same time that I had a daughter. I didn't grow up with dogs as a way of life, but I've always around humans. And while I was crazy about that dog, you know, dogs and stuff grow a little faster than humans. While I was crazy about that dog, I was threatened by that dog. That dog might get jealous and bite my baby. So while I had planned to treat the dog with so much affection, I had to kind of curtail it a little bit and make a separation between the dog and my kid. Now, to make a long story short, that dog eventually died. Well, he lived a while, years, but he died. And I felt guilty that I didn't treat the dog like I had wanted to treat the dog. And so my kids talked me into getting another dog. When I found out my kids weren't going to help take care of the dog, I took the dog and took him to some place where somebody had the time and loved it. Eventually, I got another dog. Why did I get that dog? I got that dog so I could treat that dog with some love, that I could show some compassion for that dog. Why? Because of the dog that I didn't show compassion to. I would hate for there to be a heaven up there. I would hate for there to be a pearly gate up there. And I'm siding on to heaven and get right up there at that gate and there that dog saying, Father, he mistreated me. And I can't get into that gate because of how I treated that dog. So I'm trying to make up for the wrong I did to that dog. And if I can make up for the wrong that I did to a dog, why can't you make up for the wrong that you've done to people? People. Let's take it to Central America. You have been taught that you're so great. Why? Because you don't have to go through that. Don't you know the Spirit of God, the Spirit of love, wants you to be grateful that you're not in that position? But the only way you can show your gratefulness, the only way you can show that you deserve the gratefulness that you've been given, is to turn around and you help everybody that's suffering in any way you possibly can. Don't you know that what you're for? Don't you know that the big hand is there to help the small hand? Don't you know the smart is there to take care of those who might be a little less? Don't you know that everybody is here to work and to serve each other? And what you got, somebody else got too, but don't everybody need what you got. Why? Because you need something else, and they got to do that. God dog! Ooh, I sound like Alex Jones, don't I? Well, Alex Jones is a nut too, because his facts don't make any darn sense. I'm telling you that there's a God. You don't believe in God. I know you don't believe in God because you wouldn't put up with this stuff. Well, I know I just felt on some deaf ears, so I'll say good night, everybody.